What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So I wanted to start with this. Will Anderson's comments. I recently heard his press conference yesterday, prior to the upcoming game against Cincinnati in the playoffs. Will Anderson, the defensive end from Alabama, has been a star this year as just a true sophomore. Likely could be the first overall pick in next year's draft. Just an outstanding football player for Alabama. Said, quote, "I feel like we're the underdogs versus Cincinnati." And at first I thought this is kind of just one of those things where he's just saying that, ha ha, yeah, right. Kind of the reaction. But, deep down, I really think that, Nick Saban and, the media has really kind of, allowed that to infiltrate inside the Bama's program. And my dad and I talked, I think that, Nick Saban wants to, really use this underdog to his advantage and really get this to fuel the team. But, I think just the way they've been disrespected, a lot of people saying, is this Nick Saban's worst team at Alabama? This isn't his strongest team. Stuff like that. If you're an Alabama player, that's really got to tick you off. And that, the way they played against Auburn, I think a lot of people had written Alabama off, especially going into Georgia. If you look, they were, a lot of people thought that Georgia could even blow Alabama out. Obviously, that wasn't the case in the game. Alabama came out and had a nice 41-24 victory over Georgia. But yeah, it's interesting to see Alabama just fueled and believing that they're the underdog against a Cincinnati team from the non-Power 5, who hasn't played the strongest of schedule, despite beating Notre Dame and coming into the game 13-0 undefeated. But I thought that was interesting from Will Anderson, and a lot of people had many different reactions to it. But, if I was an Alabama player, I would be a little bit pissed too. I would hate hearing, this is the worst Alabama team and, being doubted. And, he even said too, something along the lines of, they've been disrespected all season, which is, fair because, a lot of people have really, really doubted Alabama this year everyone, there's people saying that this team, nowhere as strong as last year's team, but, this team has got something, and it starts with Will Anderson. They have great leadership now. Will Anderson has, made a lot of comments. I can't remember exactly the quote, but he said a lot of great things to really try to get the team to rally behind him, and it'll be exciting to watch this game. I hope Cincinnati competes. I'd love to see them compete and make this a close game, but it could easily get out of hand. It could be one of those games where it's close in the first half, and you really see kind of like Alabama pull away in the third and fourth quarter. But I just thought I'd touch on Will Anderson's comments. Thought it was interesting, and looking forward to Alabama, the 1 seed versus number 4 Cincinnati in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl playoff final. Next I wanted to touch on the Georgia situation, and I thought it was kind of funny because offensive Todd Monken is just getting hammered with questions about JT Daniels or Stetson Bennett. Bennett, when they asked him in the press conference, he said he doesn't really care about what other people say, trying to kind of the good thing to say, trying to block out the noise. But Todd Monken, offensive coordinator from Georgia, pretty much said the body of work overall has been better for Stetson Bennett, and he complimented JT Daniels, which was good. But they sounds like they want to go with Stetson Bennett, him and Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart kind of dodged questions about JT Daniels. It makes you wonder, obviously he's not in trouble, but it makes you wonder if he's kind of, in the doghouse, if you will, with the coaching staff. So I think that's an interesting development. And I was happy to hear that it looks like George Pickens is going to go. I really want both teams at full strength. But, it's being reported now. Just reported. I don't know if this is confirmed. Do not quote me since it's confirmed, but Daxton Hill is in COVID protocol and did not make the trip with the team. I think this hurts Michigan. Daxton Hill is one of their best athletes and, arguably, arguably one of their best players on the team and potential to be a first-round draft pick. He's an outstanding safety for Michigan. So, we'll see. But, I think just the Georgia situation, so interesting with JT Daniels and Stetson Bennett. And I see a lot of, I trust in the fans a lot because the fans watch every game. They hear all these reports, as a Michigan fan, yeah, I would be a situation like this. I'd probably give more of a strong opinion. I'm not a Georgia fan. I respect what Georgia's doing, and I'm excited to watch him. And I've listened to Chris Smith and a lot of other guys talk this week, so I'm not going to give a strong opinion on it. I just think this is such a interesting story that they're still going to go with Stetson Bennett over JT Daniels. A lot of people saying play the 5-star over the walk-on, which in terms like that, it makes the choice sound obvious, but. Yeah, I think JT Daniels does a little bit more. I went back and watched, and I kind of forgotten. I really was impressed the way he played to end the year last year. Obviously, they beat Cincinnati in a game that was impressive to me because Georgia had several guys opt out of that game. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on those two situations there. Looking forward to the playoffs. If you want to go back and last video and watch my preview that I put on with my dad and I, feel free to watch that video. I thought it was an outstanding breakdown and listen to my dad's thoughts. So thank you guys so much for the continued support of the channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this. Till next time, peace.